Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to say about axillary lymph nodes. Axillary lymph nodes, which are about 20 to 30 in number, which drains the lymphatics from upper limb, most of the mammary gland, and cutaneous lymphatics from the trunk above the level of umbilicus. Once again, I will repeat. It drains lymphatics from upper limb, most of the mammary gland, cutaneous lymphatics from the trunk above the level of umbilicus. Axillary lymph nodes are divided into 5 groups. They are anterior axillary lymph node. So here I am showing that is the anterior axillary lymph node, posterior axillary lymph node, lateral axillary lymph node, central axillary lymph node, and apical group of axillary lymph nodes. These are the 5 axillary lymph nodes. In this, the anterior axillary lymph nodes which lie along the lower border of pectoralis minor. You can see it is also related with the lateral thoracic vein, and along with that lateral thoracic vein and artery it is related. So anterior axillary lymph nodes lie along the lower border of pectoralis minor. This drain most of the part of the breast, and it also drains if there is a presence of axillary tail of Spence, that is also drained by this anterior axillary lymph nodes because it is very close to the anterior axillary lymph node. Then the next one is posterior axillary lymph nodes, which lie in the posterior wall of axilla. It lies in front of the subscapularis muscle and the subscapularis vessel. So these part which are received, the afferent channel received by the posterior group are derived from dorsal part of the trunk as well as below the up to the iliac crest. As far as below the iliac crest it has been drained. The next one is lateral group of lymph nodes. This lateral group are located in lateral wall of axilla. It lies posteromedial to the axillary vein. This receive afferent vessel from the entire upper limb except some of the lymphatics which accompany the cephalic vein. So these are that is the most entire part of the upper limb. It is drained by lateral axillary lymph nodes. Then the next one is central axillary lymph nodes. Central axillary lymph nodes situated in base of axilla. It is surrounded by fat. It is surrounded by more amount of fat, and it receives afferent lymphatics from the above 3 groups. That is, it receives afferent from anterior axillary lymph nodes, posterior axillary lymph nodes, and lateral axillary lymph nodes. Efferent vessel from this channel, it goes to the apical axillary lymph nodes. So once I am going to repeat this. Anterior axillary lymph nodes which lie along the lower border of pectoralis minor muscle. It drains most of the lymphatics from the breast, and it also drains if there is a presence of axillary tail of Spence. The next one is posterior axillary lymph nodes which is located along this posterior wall of axilla. It lies in front of the subscapularis muscle and the subscapularis vessel. And the lateral group which is located in lateral wall of axilla, which lie along the posteromedial to axillary vein. This receive afferent channels, afferent vessels from the entire upper limb except some of the lymphatics which accompany the cephalic vein. Then the next one is central group. This is the one which drains the above, preceding above, anterior, posterior, and lateral axillary lymph nodes also drained into the central axillary lymph nodes, which is located in the base of the axilla. The efferent vessel from the central axillary lymph nodes which is goes to the apical axillary lymph nodes. Then the last and the important one is apical axillary lymph nodes. Apical axillary lymph nodes located in apex of axilla. It is located in apex of axilla. It is bounded in front by clavipectoral fascia, above by axillary vein, and below by first intercostal space. This apical axillary lymph node receive afferent vessels from, that is, the lymphatics which around the cephalic vein, upper margin of mammary gland, and all other groups of axillary lymph nodes. It means it receives all the channels from anterior axillary lymph node, posterior axillary, lateral axillary, central axillary, everything finally get into drain into this apical axillary lymph nodes. Efferent from this axillary lymph nodes forms the subclavian trunk. Efferent from this apical axillary lymph node forms subclavian trunk. This drains mostly at the junction of subclavian and internal jugular vein. Sometimes it may join with right lymphatic duct or thoracic duct on the left side, and few efferent it terminate into inferior deep cervical lymph nodes. So finally, I want to repeat all these things. Axillary lymph nodes, it is of 5 groups. It is divided as anterior, posterior, lateral, central and apical. Anterior axillary lymph nodes lie along the lower border of pectoralis minor, and it receives the lymphatics around the breast and most of the mammary gland and axillary tail of Spence. Posterior axillary lymph nodes, which is located in posterior wall of axilla, that is near the subscapularis muscle, in front of subscapularis muscle and the subscapularis vessel. Afferent vessel received by the posterior group are derived from dorsal part of the trunk as far as below as the iliac crest, and the lateral group is located in lateral wall of axilla. This receives afferent vessel from entire upper limb except those lymphatics around the cephalic vein, that is drained by the apical nodes. Then the central axillary lymph nodes is there, which is situated in base of axilla, and it drains. The above 3 groups are drained into the central axillary lymph nodes. The efferent channel from this goes to the apical axillary lymph nodes. Apical axillary lymph nodes is the one which drains all these 4, and the efferent channel from this is going to form the subclavian trunk. So what it drains means most of the junction of subclavian and internal jugular vein. Sometimes it may be joined with right lymphatic duct or thoracic duct on the left side, and some of them, few of the efferent channel will drain into the inferior deep cervical lymph nodes. Thank you friends. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon.